All right. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having an excellent evening today. I'm doing pretty good. A little tired, a little busy as usual, but we got a stream in on this weekend, which is the goal to try and do at least a live stream every weekend if I can. And we just snuck it under the radar. But we've got a really fun build subject today. We could have sorted some pieces. We still have some minifigure parts we could sort. We have a number of sets that I want to get built at some point. But it has been a number of weeks, if not months, since we did any mock building live streams. And that's one of my favorite things to do when I have the energy and the opportunity. And so tonight we are going to be working on some castle mocks. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're building tonight before we get to the comments. Right here we have a filled little mock section. It's a little lost sanctuary. You got a little statue, a little bit of ruined arches and wall back here, a couple trees, and just a few plants sprinkled around the base. Nothing too fancy, nothing too complicated. This is very simple. And the point for this build is to be part of a modular collab build with Peach Slug for Atlanta Brick Con in early February. So a couple months away. We've got a little bit of time to work on builds for this. This is just the beginning. This is the first section, just a little filler section. Eventually I want to make a 2x2 Forester area, and I want to make a 2x3 big skeleton castle for the Skeletonites from the 2007-2008 castle theme. So lots of stuff I want to do, but this is just dipping my toes in the water, getting into building some castle again. Already got this one done. We have another one here, and that's what we're going to work on tonight. We're going to be building on this chunk here and have a specific plan for this little build here. But these are just filler. They can go anywhere in the scene, and hopefully a couple of my friends in Peach Slug will be able to contribute builds like this too. We've got some scene with some dancing skeletons and witches with some motorization happening. We've got some ruined castles being built by some Lug members, so looking forward to all that. But before we get into the build tonight, before we get too much dialogue and verbose language out, let's go ahead and read the comments and see who is here tonight. Grumpy J, of course, very early. Good to see you, Grumpy J. Rob Clax is here as well. And reminding people that Greenville Brick Fan Event, which is the same brand of conventions that I usually attend, is coming up very soon. It's just a couple weeks away. I think it's like 2 weeks away now, if I'm not mistaken. So I've got my ticket to go. I've got my U-Haul ready to rent, and I'll be bringing a bunch of mocks there. Probably not the castle ones, unless there is more built than this on the table. Even then, I think I want to save these for Atlanta BrickCon a little bit later. But so Greenville, keep an eye out for that. I actually posted a link to the website in the comments just a little bit below. Let's check it out if you have a chance. If you're in the area, if you're in a different part of the world, hopefully I'll at least be able to post some pictures for you, maybe on Instagram or here on YouTube. We'll figure something out so you can see some of the cool stuff that's there. Cross Airborne Customs was here as well. Good to see you, Cross. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. Tim is here all the way from New Zealand. Good to see you, Tim. Hope the weather is okay in New Zealand. It's actually kind of, like I think I already mentioned, first of all, it's nighttime. It's completely pitch black outside. And it is rainy and cold, so the weather has changed in Georgia. It usually would be kind of sun setting around 7:15. Now it's gone. It's winter time. So Andrew is here, and Andrew was worried about the time shift, and maybe it's darker over. The UK is pretty far north. You'd be surprised. It's actually pretty far in the northern hemisphere, so it's probably very dark in the UK. It's probably very much evening. You never know. So. It depends on what time zone you're in, but yeah, it could be different for you than normal, Andrew. But yeah, thanks for stopping by as always. Moving on, we got Michael all the way from Iceland. Good to see you, Michael. Hope you're doing well. A building stream on a Sunday. Yes, it's a particularly nice day to do some fun Lego building, castle themed. I haven't built castle in quite a while. I think the last castle-ish build I did was the Dwarves Forge. I think it was a couple months ago now. So yeah, we need to get some castle going. B2D Builds is here. Good to see you, B2D Builds. B2D Builds is working on another Skyrim-based mock, so keep an eye out for that. Check out his Instagram. You can check it out there. James McGee is here. Good to see you, James. Thanks for tuning in. Absolutely good to see you. Oh, and I skipped a comment from Anselm. It says, glad I remember about this in time. I was caught up playing Skyrim. So, hey, no worries, Anselm. So glad you were able to make it, though. Sometimes you just gotta play a little bit of computer and get your mind off things. But I sometimes will be playing Minecraft or Total War or something, having a great time. So, but yeah, Skyrim, lots of Skyrim. Lego Yardman is here. Good to see you, Lego Yardman. And the MOC is looking very cool. Well, thank you, James. This is a simple. This probably took me an hour and a half. It was very quick and simple idea, just a little statue, and maybe some figures could be walking through here, maybe some foresters at some point. But that's not the focus of tonight. So we'll actually move this a little bit to the side, maybe just out of the picture, so that we don't have to look at it too much. I'm gonna put my mouse there. I don't know. This is a new setup for me because I'm actually standing at my table, not sitting. Usually I'm seated in my nice comfy chair, but I have actually found a little bit more productivity when building when I'm standing up. And so I have my table raised up to its full height, which is about 3.5 feet tall. So yeah, good to get going. But yeah. Let's see, Rob Claxton says, really nice. I'll be displaying there with the lug event. Yes, Rob Claxton is in South Carolina lug, and Greenville's in South Carolina, so they will be the local lug. They should have some really nice builds to see. Tim says, it's windy but fine weather on a Monday. There you go. It's Monday. I love how... I'm already bad with numbers, math, and time, and so time zones being this wild is always surprising to me. Darkside Brick Circus is here. 8-hour stream. Let's go. No. 2 hours. 2 hours is usually plenty for my poor voice, but yeah. Beast Morphs is here. Forestman, I will be building some Forestman eventually. This is just going to be kind of a little landscape. Maybe there'll be some Forestman placed inside of it, though. That would actually make total sense for its situation. James McGee says, 11:16 here in UK. It's pitch black outside and very cold. There you go. It's late in the evening in the UK. So, Enzum says Xbox. Actually, oh yeah. Well, you gotta play video games of whichever ones you prefer. Yeah. So Grumpy J's membership updated for 20 months. That's like nearly 2 years now. That's pretty awesome. We're getting close to that 2-year mark for Grumpy. That's fantastic. And T Valkyrie 18 months, also a huge achievement. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Really appreciate you guys. And glad to see you, T Valkyrie. Everyone's here tonight. Appreciate you all. Let's go ahead and get started building. And let's talk about what we're going to build before we get too far along. We're only a few minutes into the stream, technically. I have... The goal is it's supposed to be based on 32 by 32s, relatively modular style, so that it should be using the 32 by 32 base plate and then building on top of that. It's going to be kind of like a Mills plate, so basically you've got a layer of bricks and then a layer of plates on top of that, and outside of those restrictions you can do pretty much whatever you want on top. And this is keeping it simple with the green, and I think most of the other collaborators are going to use green as well. But yeah, what we're doing here is similar, but we want a little water feature. Because it's modular and we're going to be able to swap these around, the river is not going to be able to keep going too far, but I want a little waterfall happening right here. Just a little self-contained waterfall in a tiny little pond. And it's actually inspired by a toy that I had as a kid. It's Playmobil. And that might be familiar for people in Europe, but people in the United States might not be as familiar with that brand of toy. It's kind of like Lego in a way. It has kind of a simplified minifigure design, has some nice little landscape chunks. It's different in the fact that it's Lego. You can build whatever you want with these tiny little pieces to make the landscape, make the cars, make whatever. Playmobil has like pre-made toys, but it has minifigures that look vaguely like Lego. Anyway, enough about Playmobil. This is what it's based off of. That little central rock with a waterfall and a tiny little pond. I had that exact piece. In fact, I had pretty much all of these pieces. This is a picture I found off of eBay, but I had all these pieces as a kid. Loved to play with Playmobil as well as Lego. And that waterfall, I want to basically recreate that in Lego right here. And it would fit very nicely in this 32 by 32 space. And the water, more importantly, wouldn't stray off of this square, and I wouldn't have to have multiple squares connecting to make sense for a little water feature. So that's the idea behind this MOC, and we should be able to accomplish it without too much issue, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes tonight. We'll get as much progress as we can. It doesn't have to get done today, it just has to get done in the next couple weeks, got a couple months before the convention, so we're getting started early, getting a bunch of nice little things knocked out first. So, but comments are still pouring in, so we'll read what they say. PS4 and the best game ever, Fallout 4. I have never played Fallout 4, Grumpy. I've never played any of the Fallout games. I own them on Steam. I need to download them and play them one day. So I'm a big fan of the Fallout TV show. I watched the first season. I think the second season should be coming out soon, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Fallout. Recommended from Grumpy. Tim says, well done, guys, on your long-term memberships. Absolutely. And Tim is a member, too. He's got the purple brick, which means he's getting up there, too. So congratulations, Tim. Travertine is here. Good to see you, Travertine. Thank you for stopping by. And then I had Playmobil as a kid in the U.S. Hey, there you go. It's not like not sold in the U.S. I think it's just a little less common to be seen in the U.S. So yeah, I know that me and Steven and our sister had a bunch of Playmobil. We had like a pirate ship. We had castle pieces. It was a lot of fun. But eventually, Lego was the ultimate winner of the which toy will be the most important in these people's lives, and Lego is what I still do today, because you can do a lot more with Lego pieces than you can do with Playmobil pieces, because Playmobiles are all pre-made. You got a castle wall, and it's only going to be a castle wall. It's a very nice castle wall, but it's never going to be able to take that apart and make that into something else, unlike Lego, which you can do whatever you want with. Because we're going for that Mills plate system, we're going to try to have a little bit of a water pond right here, just a small one, like a little less than a 16 by 16. And in that space is going to be kind of sunk beneath the terrain, which is a brick and a plate thick. So it needs to be like 2 plates thick, so and then a layer of tiles on top of that. So then we have a nice little background for the waterfall with some burp pieces, which I have here. So possibly I should say, something like that, and maybe one of these on the back too. Kind of like that. And then you got that water right there. A little bit of landscape around it, some plants. I don't know if there's going to be any trees. It might make sense for there to be a tree or two. We'll see once we get the landscape done, we can think about trees. If we do make trees, they're going to be small, durable, and removable. And be careful with what we do, because that's the most difficult thing to move in a MOC is going to be the trees. They usually break. They usually can be a headache when you're building with them. So I have next to me a big bucket of blue plates and bricks. I think these were actually set aside for Ice Planet building, but I haven't made any Ice Planet landscape chunks in a while. So we're going to use some of these pieces to make some water. A little pond of sorts. We'll see if I can get it to make the right shape here. Some of these would be good, I think. There we go. These nice azure pieces should do the trick. Make sure I don't block the comments with my bin here, though. Yeah, it's weird because I'm looking down at my monitor and the microphone is way down here because it's at a normal table height on the other table, but this table's raised up quite a bit. So I'm trying to get used to the configuration. Hopefully it works for you guys. Let's see. I'd rather see... Oh, we're talking about the Playmobil movie. Let's see. Mark, would you rather watch the Playmobil movie or the Lego movie? Lego movie every single time. I've never seen the Playmobil movie. I'm not really that interested. I do like Playmobil from a nostalgic perspective, but I'm not into it nowadays. I have no idea what they've done in the past 20 years. So theoretically, lots of things, but we'll see. Apologies if I missed it, but how many base plates is the collab going to be? Who gets the castle? There'll be several castles, probably, Andrew, but the whole thing should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, potentially 5 tables worth of MOCs from lots of different people. Some very big builds. I think the biggest individual build section will be from Brian and Meredith, who are our president and ambassador for Peach Lug now, and they will be bringing a 9x9, 32x32 chunk landscape, like a fantasy mushroom civilization. Should be pretty cool. So keep an eye out for that. You can see that on their Instagrams once it's done, I'm sure, because they usually post pretty often there. But yeah, so I'm going to be building a couple medium-sized builds, nothing too huge or crazy. The idea is just have fun with it, build stuff I've wanted to work on. Nostalgic things like this should be fun. So let's get these, since I think these pieces are going to be the most tricky to find, we're going to use these first. Let's do that, and that. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then let's get a little bit more light azure. And I think the light part is basically just going to be, well, do we want to do it? Do we have 1 by, yeah, we do, there we go. Let's do that. So I could totally have just built regular blue plates here. So just covered this in plain old regular blue, this medium dark blue. But I want to be fancy and do a little bit of the later colors just because I can. Let's see. We'll do that. There you go. And maybe a little bit over here. We might need a little bit of filler plates. Let's get, we can use these. Use those for now. I think I'm making it a little too big now, but we'll try and get it back down to size here. A 1x2 plate in that kind of darker azure would work perfectly. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Okay. And then a few more of these. I too had the Playmobil pirate ship, which got me into Lego Mega Bloks, and eventually Lego enveloped everything. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's like part of the evolution of toy enjoyment was Playmobil. It's like that's almost like a little bit of a gateway into things like Lego. And once you get into Lego, like hardcore, you could stick with that for life. So it's interesting that other people have had very similar experiences to me. So good for you guys. Okay. These light plates on the outside edge here might not even be visible, but I'm putting them there just because. Let's see. A couple of these. Let's put this right there. Nothing too complicated, just simple gradient plate work here. A lot of comments. Let me read some of these. Nice, been listening to the farmers here in the woods and the airplane taking off and listening. There you go, Rob. Nerd Brick 101 is here. Good to see you, Nerd Brick 101. Thanks for stopping by. He says, hey yo. Doing landscapes on angles is more appealing than square on. Yes, you gotta make it look organic. Otherwise, it's not a landscape if it looks like it was built by a architect, for example. So, are those burps? I've not seen those in ages. Yes, James, we got a couple burps lying around here. I thought I had a few more, and I probably do, but they're hiding somewhere. We'll be using mostly bricks and slopes in a second, once we get to some rocks. And I'm probably going to use dark gray because I don't plan on using a lot of dark gray elsewhere. Maybe other rocks elsewhere, but not castles or anything. I'm planning on a giant black brick castle, which should be pretty cool. But yeah, no dark gray castles this time. Although I think dark gray is a nice color to build castles in. In fact, well, no, I did build a castle not too long ago. Well, I say not too long ago. It was probably about a year ago now. When I did the Wolfpack Castle, which was mostly dark gray as the base color. There we go. Sweet. And realistically, I should cover that with tiles as well. So I might want to start working on that. Maybe do I do that before the rest of the stuff? I think I should, because then the bricks go on top of that. And then the landscape gets built around it. So we'll do the tiles next, I think. And some says, I understand it. Playmobil started up a CMF-like figure series. I've heard of its existence, but I've never seen it in stores. Yeah, I don't think Playmobil is as common in United States stores as it used to be. Or, yeah, because I do not, if I saw a Playmobil in Walmart or Target nowadays, I'd be like, wow, hey, Playmobil. I think it's just less common. So. Maybe it was actually more common, like in 2005 when I was buying toys as a kid. You know, you never know. So. Somebody can tell me the popularity of Playmobil in the modern era, if they know more. Tomorrow night on my stream, I'll be showing off my newest MOC and believe one of my best so far. Sweet, Grumpy. I've missed the last couple of Grumpy streams because Monday is just a busy day for me. I do a lot of stuff on Monday. I'll see if I can swing by, though, because that sounds very exciting. I am a fan of Grumpy's stuff. Lego is better than Playmobil is definitely an underrated product. Yeah, I think Playmobil, it probably could deserve more love, even though I think Lego is inherently better in a couple areas for sure. So Playmobil had some really great castle stuff to play with, so that really helped us enjoy Castle the most, I think. It's what made Castle so nostalgic for me. So. Yeah, when you get into Lego, you definitely don't go back. Yeah, if you get seriously into Lego, yeah, that's probably the rest of your life. Even if you aren't actively buying and building, you'll still want to get back to it one day, type of thing. So, for those wondering, I probably should get a brick separator. I've got pieces of Tron. These are actually outside of the tallest Tron building on the ground, and just pulling tiles right off them because I was too lazy to sort those separately back in the day. I'll try my best to chalk that out, Grumpy. The old Templars would be proud. Oh, nice. Yeah, check that out. There you go. The Templars would be proud. I think Grumpy J was a Templar in another life. He's a big fan of Templars. They got a cool vibe. Crusaders are pretty interesting. Most medieval knights I find pretty interesting. Out of the tan from my tower, I let hit the floor. I'm going to build a 21st century of the Grand Hall from Harry Potter. Wow, the Grand Hall, the Great Hall from Harry Potter. That should be pretty cool. Johnny718's membership updated to 9 months. Congratulations, Johnny. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Teaver is here. Good to see you, Teaver. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. I'm guessing, Teaver, you're not going to be at Greenville. It's probably a little bit further away if you're in the Alabama area, because South Carolina is on the other side of Georgia from Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. My geography skills are intact. So. What's up, Mark? What's up, stream? Did I miss anything exciting? Not too much. Basically was introducing what we're doing and reading some of the comments that happened prior to the beginning of the stream. Nothing too crazy. It is pretty laid back today. A few things are different, though. You'll notice, first of all, I'm standing up. I can walk around and access pieces behind me a little bit easier. It shouldn't look that different, but maybe you can tell a different perspective, a little bit different angle. Trying cameras on different sides, for example. So that's fun. Secondly, we're finally back to building castle, which is my favorite theme, and I can pretty much do when I'm asleep. So this should be a simple and easy stream, theoretically. Shouldn't be having trouble. And then, yeah, we're doing this for a collab with some friends in my local lug, Peach Lug, to try and make some castle. Now, I've seen other local, I should say, like, in a global sense, local. Like, there's a bunch of Florida lugs that are building castle. I think even South Carolina lug had some interest in doing a castle or castle-related builds at some point. A couple of people there were talking about it. They may or may not join the Peach Lug one. It is open to other people outside of the lug. So, yeah. If you're going to Atlanta BrickCon in 2026 and you want to build some castle on a 32 by 32 base plate size, in various, it could be more 32 by 32s or less, just one if you want to. But it's going to be conforming to that standard, as it were. So. Linus says, as far as I know, Playmobil is struggling and almost went bankrupt a few years ago. Oh, no. Well, that's unfortunate to hear, Linus. I could see why it could have trouble, as it seems like people had Playmobil, but then no longer stick with Playmobil collecting as an adult. They prefer Lego. So until they figure out how to make it more appealing for you know, different ages, they might have to play second fiddle to Lego. So, if I can get this one tile off, I'll be happy. Ugh. I just need to get a brick separator so I save my fingernails here. Alright. Am I going to put any plates in here? And therefore have any connection points for, like, water splashing? I think I'm not. I'm just going to have it be smooth on the bottom, and I'll place stuff, possibly attached from the top, and just have it resting on there, because I don't want to have to plan where the water's landing before I've built the waterfall. It's like the logic operations happening here. So, but let me get a brick separator and possibly a few more chunks of tiles here. There we go, got those. I'm gonna grab a brick separator really quick. A little bit quicker on the draw when you can walk over there and don't have to get up from the chair. Does ordering a few thousand 1x1 tiles count as seriously into Lego? Because if so, I think I'm there. Yes, ordering 1,000 of anything Lego makes you a serious fan, I think. That's pretty true. I believe I was a barbarian in a past life, or a nomadic warrior. There you go, Grumpy. Probably me too. I think if we're talking about past lives and what you feel like you could have had as a past life, mine was hunting mammoths. I was definitely a mammoth hunter. I feel like that's what my brain and body were designed to do. I was designed to just run around and throw a spear really far, and that was about it. So, because me and math don't get along. Me and normal things that people do nowadays, sometimes I'm just like, I wish I could just be hunting a mammoth right now. I was designed to be a caveman. Did you see the video Mark and others? Oh, Tim, I keep saying I'm going to watch your videos and I never get around to it. I will watch it at some point because you posted a video on the tower. You posted a video of knocking it over, which will be very entertaining. That would definitely... Lego destruction is usually, you know, very watchable for sure. But sorry, Tim, I have not seen it yet. I'll have to check it out. I have been busy. In my defense, I've finally caught up on things. Last weekend was the first weekend I had been at home in several weeks. So finally back to building as well. Getting back into mock building is great. After having to take a break to travel so much. Rob, I'll show off what is left from that build. There you go. Mark of Falworth, I would have to talk to you about the when the Greenville show gets here about the Castle Collab. Yes, Rob, you are welcome to join the Castle Collab. It'll be a lot of fun. You just need a lot of green plates and bricks. It's relatively straightforward. As you can see, it's just kind of fit it in a green box and make it look like it can all kind of go together. We're eventually probably going to have a little bit more complicated things like rivers or roads that go between several different pieces or even several different builders' pieces. But for now, I'm just doing these smaller filler sections that are independent of everything else. So, but yeah, do chat with me, Rob. It's basically, if you can join the Peach Lug Discord, which is open to everyone. I should actually probably, I could almost post, I'll send it to you, Rob. I'll make sure you're on Instagram. I'll message it to you. But yeah, if you can join that, that's where we're having a chat about it in the MOCs section under collabs, under Castle Collab chat. So it's a couple steps down in the order, but once you get there, we're just, I think there's about 4 or 5 of us working on it right now, so it's not a huge event, but it should be fun. Should be cool. The point is not to be the biggest or even necessarily the best. The point is to have a good time at this point. I know some people go to conventions, they really want to do well, they want to compete and win awards and stuff like that. I'm done with that. I've had plenty of time of competing for awards. Now we're just building what is fun. So, building nostalgic stuff. So, biggest bulk I ordered was 2,000 light bluish gray 1x2 door rail plates. You can never have enough. There you go. 2,000 of one piece. That's actually quite a bit. I've done some pretty whopping, huge commissions. So I've ordered 8 to 10,000 of a single piece in one go. But those often were for, you know, tens of thousands of dollars worth of commission. So it was a small piece in a giant castle build that was shipped to Europe, or a giant castle that went to the Dude Perfect crew. So that wasn't for me personally. For me personally, I've ordered 1,000, 2,000 of a piece here and there, but never more than that for a personal thing. So yeah, I think the last time I ordered like multiple thousands of something was like the purple crystals. I have a bag up there of a couple thousand purple crystals, so gonna build a big geode one day. But yeah, if you order over 1,000 pieces from a Lego somehow, Bricklink or Lego.com, that makes you a very serious fan of Lego for sure. I was the mammoth, so that was you. Teamer, oh dear. See, if I knew, if it was like an Ice Age thing where the mammoth was able to talk back to me, then maybe I wouldn't hunt mammoths. I'd be a berry gatherer. But yeah, if the mammoths couldn't talk back to me, then I'd probably be hunting them. So sorry, Teaver, if I got you in a previous life as the mammoth hunter. Battle hammers look good in my hands. There you go, Grumpy J. You need a battle hammer. We need to get you some big prop weapons for conventions. Trying my hand at a Dune movie inspired by yours, Mark, but taking a different approach to the sand techniques using nets. Ooh, okay. Yeah, using nets for sand would give you a lot of flexibility. Because I just went raw bricks, right? I just went snot bricks. So it's a little smoother than plates, studs up, but it was just straight up 2x4 tan bricks. That is an interesting technique because you could really get that kind of wave shape with nets. That's a lot of nets. Did you order some nets? Do you have a lot of nets in your collection? You would need probably like I would imagine a dozen at least. And some of those can be hard to track down sometimes. So. Well, let's get some more tiles done. Here we go. Well, how long have we been streaming for? 30 minutes, not too bad. We've about got the water done. Now we just need to finish the edges here. And then we can start working on the rocks themselves. In our picture, in our example of what we're trying to do, that rock, little waterfall and pond in the center, it's surrounded completely by the gray rocks. And I think I want to do that, but maybe there'll be one spot that goes up to the grass, and it could be a little bit darker green to suggest that it's a little bit more moist, damp, almost soggy in that area. So yeah, we might try some of that. We'll see. I might have to start building on the back and building a nice area for the waterfall to fall. And is it going to just be straight off like that? Is it going to be... That would make the most sense versus going at an angle, so it might be right there. Yeah. Well, let's get some plates and fill out the inside area. Let's put these blue plates away first. I'm kind of thinking out loud as I do this, so it's a little bit different than normal. We don't need any more tiles for now. Eventually we'll need some pieces for the waterfall itself. There we go. Okay. Got some filler bricks, some yellow bricks right here to my left. And we can fill up this scene. And we're not worrying about any connections between different plates, just sliding them next to each other. We're going to be bringing our own tables as peach lug. So we'll be having very nice, very sturdy, handmade tables. So that normally at a LEGO convention, the tables can be a little bit wobbly, a little bit uneven. They'll sometimes sag, or it's a folding table. We'll have like a seam in the middle that causes issues for very precise leveling of MOCs. So we're avoiding that by just bringing our own tables, which should be a lot better for putting nice MOCs on and keeping everything very smooth and very level. Let's put that there. There you go. So just some yellow filler brick. And eventually I'll switch over to using tan, because I still have lots of tan filler brick. Teaver should remember that us talking about that at one point. But for now we're just using yellow, because yellow used to be my go-to filler brick before I got just tons of tan pieces. So let's put some more yellow plates right in there. Yeah, we'll do yellow. We'll just not worry about it. Let's just do yellow. Don't overthink it. Just put stuff down. There we go. I'm such a weird combination of strengths and weaknesses and interests that I have no idea what evolution intended for me. You don't know what your fate was going to be. Well, Michael, maybe you haven't discovered your true potential yet. You need to finish that Batman MOC, and then you can discover what you were designed to do. Michael, you were one of my shipmates on a pirate ship. There you go. Yeah, I could see myself being a pirate too. I like boats. I like the ocean. I can sleep okay in a cramped area. Like a hammock, for example. Let's do that. That's fine. Maybe a 1x4 instead. There you That's a 1x4 would be perfect. Might not have any though. There we go. Okay, let's put a little bit of filler over here. Mark, you're a Lego master. Who cares about awards anymore? You're right. There you go. Yeah, it's eventually it's not about the awards. It's about just having a good time, which is exactly what I'm doing now, and it's exactly what I will be doing when I finish more of the castle build later too. And you don't want to make it look nice. You don't want to do a ramshackle job, but at the same time, the pressure's off at a certain point once you've participated in all the fun things the Lego community has to offer. Yeah, it's looking very yellow right now, I'm sure, but it'll look more green and gray soon once we get a few more pieces down. This is just filling up the insides where no one's gonna see. Just do that right there. There you go. That should work for now. Yeah, tariffs, guys. That's what happened to Pick a Brick page yet. Unfortunately, the Lego Pick a Brick on Lego.com is not nearly as cool as it used to be. Everything's either in Europe or the United States. Is not either or, yeah, so. Yeah, it's crazy. I ordered 68 nets last year and finally putting them to use. 68 nets. Wow, that's a lot of pieces. The build will be 8 gray base plates layered out 4x2 plus 5 32x32s on one side, if that makes sense. That's a lot of base plates. That's all I know. That's pretty impressive, Darkseid Berserkers. I'm looking forward to your take on Dune. That sounds like a lot of tan pieces, a lot of nets. Are nets still cheap since everybody started using them? I think they were less expensive than they used to be. They used to be super expensive because they only came in a couple older sets. But now I think they're making them again. Slightly different string, but still similar concept. So I think they're more accessible than they used to be, but I don't think it's necessarily cheap. Maybe they're cheap. I don't know. So, it's a pain too when the tables the shows have wobble and out of level. I'm interested in 10 tables of my own. I invested in 10 tables. Yeah. Once you go to a convention or conventions pretty regularly, it's worth making sure you have good tables. For sure, Tim. Ryan is here. Good to see you, Ryan. Good evening to everybody. Good evening, Ryan. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the slightly cooler fall weather if you're in the United States. I know I am. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I like my flannel shirts. And I like a little bit less sweaty, you know? It's probably the opposite for people in the southern hemisphere. They're finally getting some warmer weather, some summer weather. That Lego kid. Good to see you, that Lego kid. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm so glad to see you. Glad to see you too. Glad you could make it. Yes, we are building some castle MOCs, which you'll like, that Lego kid, because I know you like some Lego castle as well. And nothing too fancy, just building a little waterfall scene. Little modular connection piece. That'll go in a larger collab at some point soon. But yeah, just plugging away, adding some filler brick right now. Eventually we'll build some landscape around this little pond, little waterfall in the back here. And yeah, it should look great. Some flowers. Some, not lotus flowers per se, because I don't think lotus flowers were native to Europe in this time. I'd have to double check. Because I think that's... And are lotuses native to Europe? Because I think they're native to Asia. I actually want to make sure it's at least somewhat accurate. Like, I see a lot of builders do like a cornfield in like a European scene, and it's like, okay, so they didn't have access to corn in medieval times. They had to go find that in the New World. That was a lot later. Just remember that one. Wheat they had. They didn't have rice either, so some things didn't make it over until later. So. I'm sick today, so I missed that little kid's comment here. I'm sick today, so I'm not going to school. Well, glad you got a break from school, but sad you're not feeling well. Hopefully you feel all better soon, that Lego kid. That's unfortunate. I've had plenty of colds myself. I can relate. So. I still have yet to go to a con due to not having a con worth build finished yet, but I'll hopefully make it to 1 or 2 next year. Darkseid Berserkers, I've seen a lot of your smaller builds, and they're all totally worth bring it to a convention. So yeah, I think you are, if you kept any of those together, you already have plenty. So don't worry about it. And you can always just go and enjoy the convention and don't have to necessarily bring anything. But no, I get it. You want to have something nice to display. That's cool too. Dang, hopefully I don't miss the surprise. Oh, is there a surprise? Grumpy have to work tomorrow too. So, oh, the surprise, yes. Grumpy is planning a big stream tomorrow with a cool mock, so keep an eye out for that. It'll be in the thumbnail. That's good. Hopefully more people tune in if it has a cool thumbnail. Does gaining awards rankings have any financial gain at conventions in the USA? Not normally. Normally there's no cash prizes involved, but it is very competitive. There's a lot of bragging rights. So big conventions, it's very prestigious to win an award. So we'll put it that way. Semi-pro move is to bring shims to level whatever tables you end up with. Yes, shims are important, but sometimes there's not too much that can change a warped table. So you try what you can. Agent Bricks is here. Good to see you, Agent Bricks. Hope you're doing well. We are working on a Lego castle mock. It doesn't look like too much right now. It actually looks kind of like a... this is reminding me of eggs. All this yellow. Like scrambled eggs. Let's put this there as a filler area. That's not going to necessarily fit there. We could do that. And this. Let's put this there. Yeah, we'll do that for now. Let's not worry about that. That'll work. And I want to get, this is my weird little goal for the day. Let me move this over just a hair. My goal for today is to sneak one of these gigantic, big, ostentatious slopes into the build. And I think it's going to have to be upright somehow. So, facing upright directions. We'll see. To cover one 48 by 48 base plate amounts to around 7,500 parts just for the sand alone, not including filler. Good grief, Darkside Brickserkers. That's going to be a big build. I'm looking forward to that one. Teaver, that's genius. Yes, Teaver, a very important strategy when going to conventions for sure. The unluckiest thing that ever happened to me yesterday, I ordered the Medieval Town Square set when it was discounted by $100 and used my insurance points to get off 65 more, and then a week later it... Oh, hold on. But I had to pay full price. Oh no! So it didn't go through. That's too bad, that Lego kit. I'm sorry about that. It's annoying when websites and sales don't work out the way you want them to. Sorry to hear that. The question I am thinking now is, how smooth should this rock work look? Should it be like, should it be pretty clean, or should it be kind of rough and tumble? Because some Lego rock work is very pixelated looking, almost Minecraft looking. That's what these burps look like, honestly. These big ugly rock pieces look very broken up, very pixelated. And some of my rock work can be a little bit more smooth, and I'm thinking of leaning more towards that, so we'll see. Do I even want to go for some stuff like this? It's a little too obvious. We'll try some other things. Let me get some headlight bricks, and we'll have some of those in our arsenal right here, ready to put some bricks on their sides, because that'll look nice. James McGee says, Mark, I know you've been busy these past few weeks, but when are we getting the next mock review? Hopefully soon. It won't be happening probably this week because I have some important things to get to. Because we're redoing insurance for a number of things with our insurance agent, I have to inventory a lot of the stuff in our Lego collection to make sure it's properly insured. So I'm going to be doing that for the next probably 2 days. So yeah, so probably not this week, but hopefully soon. I would like to get back to it soon, but yeah, I have been busy. Conventions are finally winding down. I have one in just a couple weeks, but after that, hopefully I can get to some more 12-hour builds and some mock review videos, because those are fun. So but yeah, they do take a lot of work, and if I have anything else going on, sometimes they are having to take second place now. So apparently Blue Lotus have been in Europe since antiquity. Okay, so Blue Lotuses are around. Okay, Good to know, Anselm. Thank you for the research. It didn't go back order in UK. Hopefully they put it on sale again for Black Friday. Yeah, if you use your insider's points to get a discount, and then they just kind of pull the rug out from under you, that's terrible. That's unfortunate, Lego Kid. Sorry about that. I'll send you some updates as I go along. For sure, Darkseid Brickster, because I'd love to see him. I think you got my Instagram. Or just send him my email is fine, too. At least in the Lego store I was in. Oh, man. Alright. Michael says smooth as to the rockwork, so we're going to try to lean towards that just a little bit. Not too study or pixelated-y. Use some big, fancy slopes. Dan the fan is here. Good to see you, Dan. Love the tree in the thumbnail. Can I get a close-up on that? Sure, Dan. I can at least post a story for you later. Yeah, actually, look, I can hold it up right now if you're present. This is the scene, and let's get as close as we can to the tree. There's the slightly bigger one. I think that's going to be left for you guys. And there's a slightly smaller one on the right. And they're just basically a couple flex tubes. Nothing too fancy. And I just knocked over a flower and a grass stalk. Hold on. There you go. So flex tube, some trunks. You've got a little 1x2 plate with the rounded edges and the holes in the studs, holding that extra flex tube in there. And then you got a single flex tube for that tree there. So yeah, nothing too complicated. Nice and sturdy. You can just pop them out, wave them around. They're not going to fall apart because they're all hooked in there. And then you're good to go. And the landscape, very simple. Just upright building, square edges because it's supposed to fit inside a huge collab build. So yeah, we'll be doing more trees. I want to do a forester scene at some point soon with some big trees. And I'm going to try and make big trees that survive to a convention. That's my next big goal, is to try and accomplish that. We'll see if it's possible. See if I figured out the solution. I think it's just a lot of those smaller plants holding the bigger plants in place and basically using studs with holes in them in order to have a bar connection locking everything in place. But maybe it'll work. I need 40 burp rock pieces for the Chamber of Secrets cave. Good grief, Tim. You guys are working on some epic projects. That's pretty awesome. I'm keeping it small scale, something that I can easily move. You guys are going for whole room size stuff. That's awesome. Yes, I did enter. They actually gave me 2,000 extra for compensation. Okay, that's good, that Lego Kid. I was worried about your points. So that Lego Kid says, Mark, you have the Medieval Town Square set, right? I don't have that one, that Lego Kid. I have pretty much all the parts from it, like the minifigures. I have 30 of the gray goats now. I have the shields. I have some of the exclusive pieces from it that were on Lego.com's Pick-a-Brick for a while. But I don't have the set itself. And I think it was overall very nice. I didn't like the tree in the middle, but I thought it was a good set. It was a little expensive. So I had the castle, I have the D&D set, I have the blacksmith shop, I have other castle sets. So I was like, hold off if I already got all the stuff I wanted out of it. So no, I don't have that one in the box in its entirety. So. Better that now, but still a gutter. Yep. It's too bad that you missed that sale, though. Yeah. Ooh, hey, Dan. Been a long time. Remember you from the Rebel Log Discord like years ago. Sand green leaves look awesome with black. Yeah, I was messing around with colors, Dan. And the sand green ended up working the best. And I have so much. That's probably my most prolific amount of leaves is in sand green because I got some through lug bulk. So you'll see more trees like that soon, I'm sure. All right, let me go get some headlight bricks so I can keep building and not just stop and talk. How are we doing on time now? Almost 15 minutes. We've barely scratched the surface of the terrain. Oh well. We're not in a rush. No pressure. Need to relax. Take it easy. All right. Let's get. Do we need to go one plate higher? I think we want to go one plate higher. Let's do that first. So before we put here's the logic of operations, right? You got to think about these steps so you don't have to take them apart when you're done or mess it up. Instead of putting the headlight brick directly down here, we're going to put some layers of plates underneath it first so that the rocks don't go too far down and therefore create a messed up area there. So we're going to put some plates down first around the whole outside edge, which should work. Let's see. Do we have any gray plates? No, we just got gray bricks in there. We'll get some gray plates in a minute. Let's put a little dark green over here, though. let's do that. I'm going to potentially regret putting these big dark green plates on all these studs, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. I hope it don't, oh, they're kind of creaking on me a little bit. Please don't break. Please don't break. Looks good. I did gather enough dark green plates here to work on some stuff. That's a little too regular there now. Where'd my brick separator go? Ah, here it is. Let's change this up just a hair. There we go. There. Looks better. One more 1x1 right here. That looks good. There we go. Nice. So a little damp area outside, and then we'll put regular green on the rest of it. So you can imagine the water's just seeping into the ground and not really going anywhere like a river. So. Mark, forgot to tell you, I finally completed my, I think you meant to say Alpha Team collection, not Aloha Team collection, but Alpha Team collection. Found Ogle's Mountain Fortress and the Mobile Command Center from AI Deep, Alpha Team Deep Freeze for a good price. Mission accomplished. That's an amazing theme to have in its entirety. Mission Deep Freeze, that's the one set theme as a kid that I got every set from. I really loved those sets when they came out. Back in the 2000s, everything Spies was super cool. So yeah, definitely nostalgic for those. And that's so cool that you got the whole collection, Johnny. I hope you got them displayed somewhere nicely. I think I would even struggle to rebuild all of my childhood sets because I'm sure I lost a lot of those pieces over the years, moving multiple times. But that's super cool, Johnny. Awesome stuff. And yes, Alpha Team. The tree is kind of ugly. Medieval Town Square one, not yours. Yours is great. I was like, my tree's ugly? That Lego could, I'm gonna have to rebuild it if you don't like it. But no, yeah, the tree was a little bit ugly. You can always rebuild it though. That's the nice thing about Lego. If you don't like the tree in the set, you can always do it your own way. But like the Easter eggs and the posters, yes, there's some great pieces in there for sure that look good. I'm glad you got that set. If you're into Lego Castle, keep collecting these great castle sets that keep coming out, and you'll have a nice collection of castle pieces to work with. Alrighty, well, let's put a few more green plates down around the outside edge, and then we'll feel pretty accomplished with what we're doing here. I missed Michael's comment here. Why build small builds when you can dedicate 3 years of your life and your sanity and way too much money on the build? On one build. See, Michael, I've done my own big projects too. Not quite as big as your Batman scene, but pretty close. Tron was pretty big and basically drove me nuts. So I have a similar feeling there. Not quite to the same scale, perhaps, but yeah. So now I build a little bit smaller. It's also way easier to move these to conventions. I go to a lot of conventions, and eventually I get really tired of the ones that take a lot of time to set up or move. So my approach has been a lot simpler, a lot more base plate size stuff. So, because frankly, Steven's made some nice medium and small size creations in the past, and I would build this huge Tron scene, but they didn't really care about the Tron scene. They would glance at it, look at it. Maybe they didn't like Tron in general, but then they look over at Steven's cute little scene, and they're like, "Oh, that's my favorite mock of the convention." I'm like, "Dude, I spent a year building this. You could look at my brother's little like 2-hour build." So I think in some ways, you know, depending on what people are interested in, they might not be as concerned about the big build. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna have fun with it, not worry about the giant project, and not lose my sanity over it. So I've not gotten over building big because I want to build some more big castles in the future. In fact, soon I hope to be building some evil bad guy castles with all those black pieces. But there's something to appreciate about a nice little cute small build too. So there's a balance. There's some things to love about both approaches. I always do like seeing a giant build though. Seeing someone else build a giant build especially, because I didn't have to go through it, but I can appreciate the awesome work that went into that build. So. Minifig scale is seldom realized in my opinion. Oh, interesting. It depends, I think. I build with minifig scale a lot, so that's usually what I go for. Going to be lurking while watching Shrek on the CW channel. There you go, Rob. Please do. Good to see some classic Shrek. We need a Shrek Lego set. Yes, we do. I would agree with that. That would actually be a great set. Why isn't Lego Ideas did the, what was it, the Goonies? The big pirate ship? Why didn't they make the Shrek swamp? Would have been perfect. Oh well. I think maybe Disney. Disney doesn't want to making DreamWorks sets. That must be it. It might be part of their like contract that they signed with them. So I wouldn't be surprised. Some kind of tree is the one in the Shrine in the Lord of the Rings set. My brother has that one. Yeah, the Lord of the Rings Shire tree is also... I'm not a fan of that one either. I think that was... Like, if the tree was going to be that bad, they probably shouldn't have done a tree in the first place. So. Oh, well. Let's do this. And no. We'll leave it at that. We'll do that. So, in order to more effectively put the rocks around the outside edge of the pond, we're filling in the green terrain so that will be beneath said rocks right here. So, yeah, I'm going to keep filling in those green plates for a little bit longer until we get around the outside edge. Any more Helldivers MOCs planned? Oh, let me see here. I missed the comment. Any more Helldivers MOCs planned for Liberty Day, says Sphinx. Not immediately, Sphinx. I really enjoyed building the last Helldivers creation. It turned out very well. The lighting was very fun to incorporate. But probably not immediately. Want to get some castle stuff done too, which is what we're working on right now. But eventually I do want to get to do more Helldivers builds, especially with the automatons. I think there'd be the bots would be pretty, not easy to build, but very achievable compared to even the bugs, because they have those black tiles and plates you can make. Like, I want to make a Hulk, I want to make a Factory Strider one day. So, but hopefully you enjoyed that one, Sphinx. And Anzum says, has anyone seen Jesse Van Dyke, I think that's how it's pronounced, 99 baseplate project? I'd be amazed if he finishes it within 10 years. That's pretty crazy. 99 baseplates is a lot of baseplates. That's a huge build. Hello, yep, I'm finally going to finish my Avengers Tower, which will be over 6 feet tall once it's complete. That's also pretty awesome. Darkseid Berserkers, some mega projects in the chat today. 4 48 by 48 baseplates will be a full size of the Crusaders MOC. Grumpy J also working on a big build. That's awesome. Well, very cool, guys. Well, I feel like I'm building a small build, but I'm not worried about it. It's fine. I will enjoy my small little pond scene, and that's what we're going to work on tonight. I'm grateful to be working on a smaller build versus a bigger build for once. Take a little break from the big ones. The set was just too small, so I had to fix it. Exactly, yeah. The Avengers Tower was a good set, I think. But you could always do a little bit bigger and better as a MOC. It's definitely not minifigure scale. And I think based on what I've seen, that Darkseid Berserkers Aaron has been able to send me, that it was a pretty big one, hopefully soon. So, sooner rather than later, maybe. Oh wow, your MOCs have a lot of similarities, then it sounds like. Hello, multiple year-long superhero towers. Yeah, you guys are working on those big projects. Once they're done, they'll be great. But until then, you're going to be building for a while, and a lot of pieces going towards it. But it'll be worth it in the end, I promise you. Once it's done, it is a good feeling. Lucas is here. Hey, what's up, guys? Not Nexonites, Lucas. I could feel it. I could feel it coming. No Nexonites tonight. No, it's fine. Lucas can talk about Nexonites if he wants to. Him and Grumpy J are the only people who get a pass on that, basically. Okay, why on earth are all the rare Technic parts I'm building with right now is the 1x4 black brick the hardest to find? Should be such a common piece. 1x4 black Technic brick? That should be a common piece. Why is that hard to find? That's crazy. Is it hard to find in Iceland? And that How to Train Your Dragon set was whack. We need a minifig scale wave. Yeah, I posted my thoughts on that set a while back. That one was a pretty not great. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't great. And especially for the price that they put it at, I think that wasn't a great price. Well, that was How to Train Your Dragon is DreamWorks, right? So they are doing DreamWorks stuff. Maybe they could do a Shrek one day. Because Shrek is DreamWorks, right? It's all the same. That's the same company. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I can find 1 or 2 larger green plates here. Just take up some of those volume. There you go. Nice to be standing. So far I'm not tired out too much. We've been streaming for about an hour now. Go. A few more green plates going down. Need a 1x1 or a corner plate here. That'll work. I've seen Jesse's 99 base plate series. That sounds pretty cool. I need to check it out. Feel the small build pressure, Mark. Build big. This is the way. I will build big again soon. I promise you, Darkside Berserkers. Well, I'll be back, unfortunately. The skeleton tower is, I'm planning for it to be kind of its own standalone MOC, but it'll hopefully connect nicely to a much bigger castle eventually. So build it in modular chunks, in achievable chunks, we'll put it that way. So. Let's do this here, hold on. Here we go. All right. Let's put one right here and one right there. So we've built the green plates all the way around the lake area, added a little bit of dark green right there. We're going to disguise it up with some plants. I don't know how many plants, because this one is pretty sparse over here on my right. It's got plenty of green plate area, exposed plates to merge next to other builds in the collab. But at the same time, I feel like more plants around this water area would make sense. So we'll probably try to put more plants on it when we get to that point eventually. Let's flesh out this waterfall area here, though. Make it a little bit taller, a little bit more robust, and let's try to find a way to incorporate some of these big slopes. Maybe this one in particular. There you go. Need some more headlight bricks, though. There you go. We'll probably need some. Nope, that's the one I'm gonna need. We'll probably need some plates as well, because I only grabbed bricks for dark gray pieces earlier, so I'll have to go grab some dark gray plates from that space over there. So let's go do that then. Let's do that next, probably. Yeah. Actually, is that the right height to snap down? No. Totally not the right height. We'll need a plate. I just mean in my collection, Mark. Although I have a huge Technic collection, but I can only find like one 1x4 Technic brick in black. Oh, Michael. Okay, yeah. I was about to say those shouldn't be rare or expensive. That's a pretty common element. But yeah, if it's not in your collection, that is confusing. I know sometimes I'll be looking for a very specific part, and I need like 4 of them or 6 of them. Not too many. And I'm like, I know I've bought lots of these in the past, but they're just not making themselves visible, especially if you sort by color like I do. So yeah, I felt that feeling too. I I relate, Michael. Lucas says, dang it, didn't even start talking yet. Mark knows me too well. I'm losing my It's okay, Lucas. You can talk about Nexonites if you want to. I haven't had any Nexonite news in the past week to talk about, but yeah. Well, eventually, you know I want to build some Nexonites. For real. So. Gatorade Zero. Not a sponsor. Alright. Let me get a few 1x2 dark bluish gray plates. Here we go. We're back. And we just got a little handful of plates, which should help get us where we want to go. Yeah. Would that make it the right height? Let's see here. Let's see. That makes it a tile high. Let's see. Would that... I need to test something now. Hold on. When you do snot bricks, you gotta make sure they're the right height. Otherwise, everything falls apart. And that looks pretty good right there because it sits nicely on top of a tile versus not on top of a tile. So we're going to do that. And we need to make sure this is the right height then too. We're putting it on top of a brick. Yes. Yes. Cool. That works. Just like that. And we need a larger curved brick, perhaps like that, to go right there. Maybe further down. Kind of like that on that side. Oh, don't know if it's buffering for you guys, but it's buffering for me. My whole monitor froze for a second. Hopefully you can see it. But yeah, over there, right here, is where we're trying to flesh out some stonework. And the problem is, there's a green line right there that I don't like, so I need to put some more plates and stuff in there. And I'm trying to think the best way to do that would be this, maybe? It can be one plate higher. Let's see. I'll mess around with that in a second. We'll just try and work on the simpler area on the back perhaps for now. Okay. One green plate would be good right there. And you can't see because I'm building on the other side, but I'm just filling in the back of the bricks now, right there. Like so. That way, we can get some nice height on these slopes. Let's do a 2x2x3 slope, just like that. Keeping it simple on the back end right there. Most likely you won't even really see it back there. Yet, Mark. Gatorade to sponsor you, I mean. It could be soon. You never know. Yeah, Michael's been working on a huge Gotham bank. Is it bank building, right? Huge Batman scene. And half done today, Survivor MOC 2. Very happy with. And then a concept for a fantasy build that I made to feature my first Bionicle build, which turned out way better than I was expecting. I haven't seen all these builds, Michael. I want to check them out. So. Yes. Michael is far away in Iceland, so shipping him things would be very inefficient as far as shipping costs. But yes, thankfully, due to the magic of the internet, he's able to join us on Livestream, so it's almost like he's not far away. You wouldn't know it, but he's actually way off in, this tiny island in the Atlantic Ocean. Way far away. That looks good enough. I was about to say, that looks good, but it looks okay. See if we can fix the back a little bit. Yeah, that works. Let's do that. That's fine. Need a 2x2 plate in dark bluish gray, or I could even do, let's do that. Yeah, then we definitely need a 2x2 plate in dark bluish gray. Let's do it. There we go. Yeah, color sorting is great until it's not. Here we go. Now I need 3 1x1 bricks. Or something like that. There's one. How many more are in this bin of pieces that I collected? None. Let's go grab 2 more really quick. Here we go. Anzum says Gatorade HQ 555 West Monroe Street, Chicago, Illinois. Let's start the letter writing campaign. Yes, let's do it. Gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, that'll work. Let's do a slope like that. I need another 1x1 brick, of course. Let's get it. One by one brick, and maybe not 1x1 brick there. At least a few more, though. Hold on 1 second. There we go. When it gets nitty-gritty like this, I have to keep running back to this. It's sorted, but it's color sorted, so it's chaotic and it takes me a minute to dig through them, so apologies. Yeah, let's see. Let's do that. And a cheese slope would work good there, but we'll track that down in a second. Alright, still got to figure out what's happening over here. It may end up being that this is replaced with some gray plates. That might be the play here. Let me get a particular gray plate. Here we go. So, this is the piece I was grabbing to put Right there. In there. If you can see it. So, there's gray under there, and there's a little bit more plate surface. And I think it would be even better if I did this. Yeah. Let's do that. And now we really need a 1x4 tile. Let's see here. Get this plate off the top of this plate. That was a remarkably strong clutch on that one. There we go. Yeah, something like that in there. And I think that this, it's a normal slope, but it's inverted the way it's positioned. I think I want to switch that to just a brick and have it go straight down to the ground, because that little indentation doesn't look correct in there. Matt X says, is that one of those old base plates? No, we've just got regular green base plates that we're working with tonight, Matt X. But we're covering them with pieces, so they could actually, this looks kind of like one of those old school base plates, honestly. To get rid of the line from what I could see, just replace the green with gray or extend the rockwork over like if you can. Exactly, Lucas. That's exactly what we're working on. Good eye. And I think we've fixed up a little bit that area, so now we're just going to mess with this brick. Still want to incorporate this giant slope if we can. We'll put that right there. Here we go. We do need a few more dark bluish gray tiles underneath to make that make sense. There we go. And then that is not really the right height though. Let's see if we can fix that so it's more flush. I think it'll be if we put some plates down. Yep, that'll do it. There you go. Yeah, much better. Right in there. Let me get a little slope for right there. Would a 1x2 work? We'll find out. Oh no, you're up one plate. There you go. Let's do that, and then a tile probably on that side. Oh, it's just not even on the same wavelength. Huh, interesting. Yeah, looks better. And it's a nice abrupt piece of rock work there on the corner. I'm not sure about this piece. We might play around with it. We'll see. You're not gonna see it, but we'll just keep building. We'll worry about that later. We won't freak out about that one yet. So. Let's do that one. Now what I want to do is get some kind of boulder-shaped pieces here and there to go around the outside edge and kind of frame it off a little bit. Yeah, like that. Looking for a very specific type of brick and tile though here. That looks alright. Probably need more tiles and stuff over the top. Don't know if you can see what's going on there. A little bit of a angle towards the water right there. There you go. yeah, just kind of fine-tuning all the rocks around the outside edge right now. Very tedious stuff. I sorted all my slopes in a drawer by color. Ooh, that'll work, Tim. Andrew says, Mark should get a Lego sponsorship. Never mind land. Give the man what he needs to create. I've got what I need to create. I just need time, energy, and less travel, I guess. I think I'll have plenty of time to build later November and December, so we'll work on it. So. Grumpy just says, I'll take a Diet Coke sponsorship. Yeah, there you go. You get Diet Coke, I'll get Gatorade. That sounds like a deal. Dan the Sus is here. Good to see you, Dan. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. What's this muck? I love it. Well, good to see you, Rio Bricks. Thank you for stopping by. We're working on a little waterfall scene inspired by a Playmobil piece that I grew up with as a kid. So we're trying to basically put rocks around this little pond and have a little waterfall coming down right here. Or actually, probably right here. Kind of at that angle. And it's inspired by this old piece in the center here. It was Playmobil is a toy that I used to play with as a little kid, and just trying to do that rock piece in Lego. So we'll hopefully eventually make it look sort of like that. Doesn't have to be exactly the same, but sort of like that. So, but glad you could stop by. And yeah, it's gonna go. It's a simple square landscape. We've got the nice squared edges on a 32 by 32, and it's supposed to go with other landscapes for a castle collab for a lot of other people to hopefully join in too. So, and some much bigger builds. These are just some small filler ones in between here and there, but I want them to be very independent. It's all just in one little package right here. So, should be fun. Ray of Sunshine is here. Good to see you, Ray. What are the names of your... And the comment cuts off. Well, if you let me know, Ray, I'll be happy to fill you in. But yeah, I'll take a port wine sponsorship. There you go. Yep, we don't have that one yet either, Tim, but one day. Is this for a castle-themed build? It is castle-themed, Rio Bricks, yes. Very medieval-inspired. Going to be some mushroom civilizations. There's going to be some skeleton knights. There's going to be witches in one scene. They're going to go for, like, dancing witches scene. Should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, very fantasy castle, but castle. I'm hoping to have some classic castle stuff in there, too, so. Lucas says, well, gotta head out. Early morning tomorrow. I would make my request for next nights, but Mark has already done that. My reputation speaks for itself. Well, glad you could stop by, Lucas. Thank you for mentioning next nights again. We will get to them at some point, and please keep bugging me about it. It's very funny when you do. So, can you do a Black Falcons 12-hour mock? Definitely would like to do that, Ray. Last time Castle, just straight up Castle Knights were in a poll, the Black Falcons lost to the Raven Knights. So now that the Raven Knights have had their turn in the 12-hour system, hopefully get to some Black Falcons again soon. But yeah, we're just working on some castle, generic castle stuff right now tonight. So I forgot that I've got another build that's a work in progress similar to my Iron Throne build, but for Doctor Doom in honor of the upcoming Doomsday movie. Good grief! Darkseid Berserkers, you are one of the most active builders I know. That's awesome. So yeah, Doctor Doom should be interesting. I'm not sure if I'm fully on board with Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom, but it'll at least be different and entertaining, so that's good. It could be great. It could be dumb, but it could be great. We'll find out. Let's see. I kind of like that. It's a little square. Contemplating that one. Does it need to go up one plate? Down one plate? I might put it up one plate. Let's see. But then how does that stay there? That then needs a small curved slope. Let me get one. Hold on 1 second. Small curved slope anywhere, please. Well, I couldn't find the piece I was looking for in that short span of time, but I'll keep working on different areas. Essentially, I'm contemplating having that little pointed brick right there. It looks a little bit straight line right there, but maybe I can offset it by putting stuff further back here and rounding it out. We'll see. Maybe that's not what I put there at all. Maybe it's something different. We'll go there eventually. Actually, would that work? Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Probably do that instead. It is simpler too. Doesn't need that piece I was looking for, the tiny little slope. I should have a bunch of those though. That's kind of worrying. I couldn't find it. Now I just need a 2x2 slope. It doesn't have an inset angle. Just need a 2x2 slope. Any old 2x2. There we go. Ooh, yeah, I need the opposite of that. There we go. Kind of looking like rocks. Sort of. We'll keep playing with it. That's actually a little too smooth right now. Right there is too long a smooth line. Let me keep moving this around here. If we just took that 2x2 slope I was looking so hard for, that actually I think works better. Yep, that might be it, what we end up doing. We'll keep playing with it. Pretty cool, Mark. Yep, it's pretty cool. Thankfully, we're not doing that silly joke. Mark, are you Christian? Because of you, it would be cool if you do a mock inspired by a iconic event from the Bible. Just an idea, though. That Lego kid, yes, I am religious and I am Christian, so I would probably love to do some Bible scenes at some point. I got to be careful though, because I don't want to step on anyone else's toes. I want to be just kind of have everyone who watches my stuff just enjoy Lego. So, but yeah, maybe at some point for sure. So. Teaver is here. Good to see you, Teaver. Bourbon sponsor for me. What sponsorship would you like? That's a good question. Bourbon. We had port wine. We had Coke Zero. We had Gatorade Zero. It was Diet Coke. Diet Coke for Grumpy J. Yeah, I'm a Gatorade Zero. That if I could get Gatorade Zero to send me a case every now and then, I'd be doing really good. So. Ray of Sunshine says Bionicle. I've done some Bionicle mocks, but I need to do more Bionicle mocks because they're fun, they're pretty easy, and they don't take up a lot of space either, which is really nice. Sometimes Lego mocks take up too much room and too many pieces. Bionicle, I don't have to worry about Bionicle at all. They're easy. Well, they're not easy, but they're just low issues. I don't have any problems with them when I'm building them. Because those pieces were not being used in any other mocks, let's put it that way. Let's put that there, and that one there. I like that. Let's see. Kind of like that. So that's what I'm trying to do. Just a little rock edge. Also don't want it to be too deliberate, because you don't want it to be look like it's placed there by humans. You want it to look like it's an organic little pond. So we'll see. We'll see. Might have some more green right here. I'll contemplate that one. We'll leave it for now. But that's the idea. That's what we're trying to do. I want to fill in that 1x1 spot there too. And Anselm says, no one could ever top the Doom representation in Avengers. Earth's Mightiest Heroes, though. That would be interesting. Yeah, I think, who else could do it but Robert Downey Jr., right? So, you should add a tree. That's a good idea, Ray. I could definitely add some trees. The other scene that I built earlier, which is even simpler than this one, I should say much simpler, has a few little trees on there, some sand green leaves and some black trunks. So some trees like this would be very easy to build over here too, and might look nice. So I don't know if I want to do all the trees like that, but some of them for sure. So. Really looking forward to Doomsday, and actually more intrigued at the fact that RDJ is playing him. Next year is an insane year for Marvel. Can't wait. There you go. Marvel movies. I remember being very hyped for Avengers Endgame and all that story arc. So hopefully they can kind of rekindle that that awesomeness, that anticipation for all these things. So. Teaver says, brother, you make whatever you want to make. No one has to agree on theology or politics or anything else when it comes to art. That's true, Teaver. That's right. I also want to make sure that everything that I build is very approachable for everyone. So I just always be careful not to bother anybody. So Michael says, yeah, that's what I thought. Darkseid, I kind of liked keeping my Batman mock a bit hidden in the past, though, because I didn't know how long it would take me, but soon I want to start building interest. Yeah, so posting teasers, Michael, would be pretty fun. I follow your Instagram. I'd like to see them. I've seen a few updates here and there, but I think you could just, a few more hints at what you're doing would be fun. So updates are good. That's how people can kind of interact with you and keep tabs on what you're building. So Malachi is here. Good to see you, Malachi. Hope you're doing well. Hey, how are you? When's the next mock review? Soon, hopefully, Malachi. It has been a couple weeks, for sure. It's probably been over a month now. I've been traveling for most of the time. Finally got back basically last weekend and getting my feet back under me. Finally building mocks again. Took a little break. Built some Helldivers, but that was kind of like forced quickly. So getting back in the swing of things. Hopefully we see more videos soon, Malachi. I know you were a big fan of the mock reviews, and we're an active participant in them as well. So we'll get back to them soon. You build what you want, Mark. It's all good. We still watch you no matter what. Oh, thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. But yeah, doing good on this scene so far. Let's build a few more rocks on the other side here. Let's try right there. And a 1x1 plate would be perfect right there. I have most of the right pieces I need. Let's see, that could go. That looks good there. And then a 1x1, another 1x1 plate. Yes, there we go. That will work. These rocks are a little more small and chunky than what our inspiration had, but at the same time, I think it's working. If anything, do we want to pull this away a little bit and have it be more connected to that? I think we want to leave it like that. Yeah. Gotta feel it out sometimes. 1x2 plates would be terrific right now. Maybe just use this one for now. There we go. So what we've done now is there's no bricks on the other side. We need to attach some slopes over there too. Let me work on that. Let's do that there. And do this here. There we go. I think that'll work. I don't know, something. These are old gray, not dark bluish gray. I want to use dark bluish gray. Let's see. That works. No, that doesn't work. That might be too tall. There we go. It still looks a little jagged. And that's almost working in there. I think the coloration of the blue plates underneath is working, for sure. Tiles look decent. Most of these rocks look good. Maybe a few rocks here and there would help too, like a few spread out. Yeah, we'll play around with it. We'll see what can be done. Mm-hmm. Oh, that doesn't work there. All right, we need a wedge plate to disrupt that straight line right there. That's where we need a plate. So we'll find probably a small dark bluish gray wedge plate. Let's see if we can fill in that gap. Because it looks a little too straight right now. Need just a little something something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Lima Bricks, good to see you, Lima Bricks. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Working on a retrospective on Hidden Side. Also, my birthday is tomorrow. Your birthday's tomorrow, Lima Bricks. Happy birthday. That's awesome. And retrospective on Hidden Side. Yeah, it's as someone who's a little bit older, it's hard to remember, like, oh yeah, Hidden Side's gone. That was such a cool theme, cool idea, kind of Stranger Things-esque, and it just was gone. They just disappeared. Second wave, and it was gone. The first wave must not have sold very well. But yeah, that's a pretty cool project. Is it going to be on your YouTube channel, perhaps? I want to check that out at some point. Mm-hmm. Kingdom Bricks is here. Good to see you, Kingdom Bricks. I submitted my mock for Mark's mock review in July. What do you think it'll make another video about it? It's my favorite Lego series. Oh my goodness, Kingdom Bricks. Well, I'm glad you like the series. Hopefully soon. It's been a number of weeks traveling. It really interrupted my video flow quite a bit. But hopefully we'll get back to it soon. So sorry it hasn't seen an episode in probably a month or more. So sorry about that, Kingdom Bricks. But thank you for submitting. We were like at least a month or two behind before I got interrupted for a month. So yeah, it'll be a while. But I haven't not covered any mocks that were submitted yet. So hopefully we'll get to it at some point. So. Mm-hmm. On mock reviews, I finished the one with I sent you, Mark, rounded it off and replaced the D&D figs with a drunken Black Falcon Lord being ambushed by Wolfpack. Ooh, that sounds cool, Andrew. Very nice. I just can't wait to see Mr. Sinister in live action, my favorite villain. There's some Marvel characters that really, there's a lot of potential to be unleashed there, for sure. I haven't seen a Marvel movie after the Guns N' Roses movie. I mean, Thor, Love and Thunder. Yep, there was that one. That was a movie. Can't wait to see all the Mark of Falworth waterfall. Yeah, I like waterfalls. Waterfalls are they're fun to do if you have enough transparent pieces. So, yep, wanted to get it out by Halloween. There you go, Leo Brooks. I bet you can do it. Looking forward to it. You should see the Fantastic Four though. It's great. I still haven't seen that one. I heard it was good. I need to go watch it. So I think it's on Disney Plus now, right? So I'll check it out soon. Let me find a wedge plate for this section of the waterfall here. That should work. There we go. Yeah, that's about the size I want. That 2x3 wedge plate right on that inside edge. Now I've got to put some plates on top of that and connect it to the rest of the rockwork so it's not just floating on the water like that. But yeah, let's connect these disparate elements here and make it work. Actually, do I have a brick? I think I had a brick that was that configuration, a wedge brick, because that would work great. Let's see. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, so it's the wrong side. I have a wedge brick here, but it's the wrong configuration. I can use that somewhere else perhaps, but this one will work, this smaller wedge brick here. That'll do the trick. Yeah. I need more 1x2 plates, of course, but I'll be right back after I get some of those. Sweet. There you go. And let's get one of these, perhaps? No? Let's not do that one. There we go. Starting to form where waterfall should spill down into the pool below. Yeah, it's starting to look like a little self-contained waterfall area there. And let's yeah, let's do that. And perhaps one of these will go there. Or will it go over here? Let's bring it back one. No. That was better. There we go. Starting to smooth out those boulders a little bit. And just a tiny bit right there would do the trick. Just like that. I think that's working now. We can maybe do some more bricks and rocks outside eventually. Let's put that one there. That one right there. Here we go. It's starting to work. Where are we at time? 1:45 of streaming so far. Or thereabouts. So doing good. Let's try and focus on this right side and get some progress over there. Looking a little bit bland on that side. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Absolutely, Kingdom Bricks, for sure. Going to watch the Spider-Man movie, but I rather put my money into other things like working on my car or buying Lego. There you go. There's a new Spider-Man movie coming out too, right? It'll be on Disney Plus November 5th. Gotcha, Enzo. Good to know. I actually think Fassbender is probably the most likely X-Men actor to return. His career is kind of stagnated, and he'd be the perfect age now too. Interesting. That's interesting. Mark, put a crystal where you put that plate. Maybe. A crystal? So, don't think I'll be using too many crystal pieces in this, because the waterfall will be mostly slopes and plates. So, not too many crystals on this one, but I would love to, because I love crystals. Kingdom Bricks also says, I really like your Rock Raider shirt. Oh, thank you, Kingdom Bricks. Yeah, this one is also available on my website, so go to markofalworth.com, link in the description for any of your t-shirt needs. McAvoy Professor X didn't leave as much of a mark as Fassbender, in my opinion, but yeah, interesting. Yeah, the X-Men characters, some of them could definitely come back as like slightly older versions of their characters now, which would be interesting. But do they want to tie into all the Fox versions of those movies? I don't know. We'll see. Enzum says, were you thinking like a full strength waterfall or something Minecraft water? Yeah, kind of Minecraft water versus like a full gushing thing. I can show you in the example piece here. It's just a little stream, little trickle. Nothing too, not too big of a waterfall. So it's supposed to be a self-contained landscape here. So that's what we're trying to do. Like that. So yeah, we'll keep working at it. I think it's already achieving what we set out to do, which is make a little scene. I actually kind of like that. We'll leave that for now. Let's see. 1x2 brick. Okay, let's do that. Mm-hmm. I think it would be easiest to kind of work our way up with slopes like that. But then it looks a little bit too regular right there, maybe. Okay, because I like how organic this looks compared to how linear that is looking. Or patterned, I should say. It would probably be better if I'd simply replaced some of these with things like that. Yeah. One more, it's a 2x2 slope with a rounded off corner. I'll see if I can find more of those eventually. Are these going to all be put together? Yes, Malachi. So I explained it at the beginning of the video, but it has been a long time since then, so I'll go over it briefly again. These are, the landscape is very square because we're trying to make these as modular as possible. They're supposed to be little landscapes that will all fit together for a castle collab build that should be for Atlanta BrickCon 2026. Should be a lot of fun. It's being organized by me with a couple other friends of mine in Peach Lug, which is my local lug. And we are trying to make a big castle display all together. And the system that we all agreed upon was a regular base plate, like these, green base plate, one brick high and then one plate on top. And green would be the color that we typically go with, but then you could kind of have fun within the space. You know, you could make mountains, make terrain that's different heights. But if you're matching up to somebody else, try and stick to that same size so that it all fits together nicely when we're done. So these are some smaller kind of self-contained scenes, so they have to kind of conform on all the sides. Eventually I want to make some bigger scenes that are like the mountain will keep going and cut off right here, and there'll be other sides that match and come back down. So, but right now, just making some small self-contained landscapes, which actually works pretty well for a live stream because we've gotten most of this done pretty satisfactory in not too much time. So, yeah, but that's the goal, is a collaborative mock, pretty simple landscaping, nothing too fancy, trying to match what other builders might make because I'm the first one to start working on this. Hopefully some more builders will kind of dive in as well soon, but lots of plans, so hopefully it all comes to fruition. Not a movie franchise fan, but as far as it goes, I'd say Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp was pretty fun. I loved him as Jack Sparrow, but eventually I think they made enough of those movies, so. Looks really good, Mark. Oh, thanks, Tim. Appreciate you. I'm very curious how this will turn out, Mark. It's funny how different we build. I can never guess how it's going to end up, but it's always good. Appreciate it, Michael. Yes, it'll be fun. This is it's smaller and less grandiose than I typically try to build these days, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to get back down to a realistic and achievable scale for things. So it's good. Eventually, though, we'll get to some pretty insane stuff for some of the larger things I have planned for this very collaborative. Like I want to make a giant skeleton tower, which has the giant skull entrance gate. So kind of like Castle Grayskull almost. So if you're familiar with He-Man. So want to build some stuff like that soon. So we'll hopefully be doing that. But yeah, gonna keep, might just fill up a little bit more on the inside here. If I have enough 1x1 bricks, I need 2 1x1 bricks at least. Maybe a 2x4 brick. 1x1, 1x1. Be right back. Thankfully, we found a bunch of them here. Good. All right. Let's try something different than that. Yeah, just putting rock pieces down and seeing if they look right and changing them up if they don't. So far we haven't had too many like major have to redo it. It's just been slowly building in front of us as we keep going. But slowly. This is a pretty... just taking our time. Not in a rush. I want to do it right. Some more wedge bricks would be really nice right in this interior corner. That or some taller slopes at different perspective, different angles. Let me think about that one for a second. Oh, that looks good. And I do need one of these for underneath this one though here. Trying to break up that outside edge a little bit. I think it worked. Yeah. Looks alright. We'll keep messing with it. Looks good. Let me see if I can find either some wedge bricks or some taller bricks to fit right in here in that little gap. I've actually had a very productive evening too, even though I spent most of the time searching for parts. The very first design I ended up really, the first design I made ended up really great, so I saved time there. There you go. You're able to kind of work on some stuff for a little bit. That's fantastic, Michael. Or the Skull Island set from the Pirates theme. Yes, giant skulls are cool. And I want to make a giant Lego skull. That'd be pretty fun. Could probably use light gray and then have that sit inside of a black castle would be pretty neat, I think. So. For me, Michael, never guess how it's going to end up, but always good is Lego. That's how Lego is sometimes. I'm jealous of that, Andrew, because when I build, it's definitely not always good. Oh, Michael, you're an amazing builder. I've seen your stuff. Malachi says, I want to start building a snow Christmas MOC. Does anyone have any suggestions on what to build? Ooh, so just want to build something with snow, right? If you like Lego snowy scenes, look up a builder named Isaac Snyder. Or you can even go to his website, brickbuilt.com, I think it is. Isaac Snyder, he has a lot of Flickr photos. I think he's on Instagram too. He now works for Lego and has designed some very good sets. But Isaac, he has done a lot of winter-themed castle builds. Not that you have to build castle, but if you want to see snow on a build in a snowy scene, there's basically no one who does it better than Isaac. So check out some of Isaac's snowy-themed creations and check it out. I won't be building any snowy scenes for a while, but I do have a bunch of white leaves, which I want to use for kind of snowy-covered trees at some point. But probably not for this display. Maybe some other time. But yeah, let me get a few more wedge bricks really quick. Hold on one second. Well, I wasn't really finding what I was looking for specifically. Not quite. Not quite. Nope. But I think I have an idea of what could be put there. Let's do a normal brick right there. Go up one more, maybe two. Let's get a 1x2 brick. Yeah, we'll do that. We get 1x2 brick with studs on the side. and bring it up a little bit. Just gonna do a normal brick there, actually. Let me show you what I got planned here, guys. Hold on one second. And then we need a tile underneath. I know the modern newer tile pieces would actually work well for that. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get that eventually. Or we could pull it back a little bit. That work? Need a plate then, huh? Yeah, either way, we'll figure it out. Actually, I think I can borrow a piece from here and put it there, and that would clean it up nicely. Hold on, guys, hold on, huh? I got something. There we go. Yeah, I like that. So we've just put a kind of wedge slope piece upright using that nice angled piece to get some height. We started building up this brick here, and the waterfall is probably going to come out right here. We'll build up a little bit underneath here to fill it out. So that should work very nicely. I will do that, Mark. Yes, Malachi, do check out Isaac at some point. Great stuff. He has a huge portfolio. It helped him get his job at Lego, I think. So. Okay, gotcha. Oh, thanks, Mark. But yes, I meant the stuff that I don't post isn't always as good. Hey, I think you should post more because I think your stuff is good. Malachi, Krampus hunting down a naughty child in the woods would be cool. Darkside Berserkers, that's a little bit dark. But yeah, I mean, if you want to build a Krampus, scary in the snow is a good theme. Like, not horror per se, but getting there, you know? So, interesting. And someone says, I second Krampus. You know what I want to make one day? I don't think I'll get to this anytime soon, but I guess I'm, like, thinking about skeletal things. But I want to make a Wendigo. Like a big, scary, like a deer-headed, evil bone creature. I want to do that at some point, because that would be fun. But I haven't had any opportunity to do that yet. So, and this is not a snowy themed castle landscape collab, so it wouldn't really necessarily make sense. So probably not going to do that here, but eventually maybe I'll have to do that. So just got back from Color War at youth group. What'd I miss? Oh, that sounds fun, Charge. Not too much. We were working on a simple castle landscape, trying to do a little self-contained waterfall and pond. We've got most of it built already. We started basically from a base plate. So, yeah, lots of progress achieved, but still a ways to go, and probably won't necessarily finish tonight because we have just a few minutes left before we're at 2 hours, which is where I want to stop because my voice is getting a little tired. But I'm pretty happy with the progress so far and liking the way it looks. A little bit of dark green, suggesting it's a little bit more soggy and swampy outside there. And I like the kind of organic shape of these rocks out front. Starting to shape a little bit for these areas here. I think we can definitely move forward with some other spots. But we'll get there. We're getting there. We're working on it. So, very happy with the progress this evening. It turned out pretty much exactly as I expected. Not quite finished, but a lot of good work done. So. Wait, whoa. Who here has a job at Lego, Mark? Not anyone in the chat right now that I know of, Michael. But my buddy Isaac, who I was referring Malachi to go look up his builds, Isaac kind of stopped building MOCs consistently since he now works for Lego. He still builds every now and then, but he used to live in New York, be part of Rocklug, and so he moved from New York to Denmark and now designs sets. Some of the ones you might recognize are a lot of the Minecraft sets, but he also did like the Viking Village, which is very much in his style with the kind of Vikings and snow and stuff. And then he also designed the Horizon Zero Dawn Tall Neck, or Horizon Forbidden West, maybe it was. The Tall Neck set, which is pretty cool. I have that one of my favorites. So yeah, Isaac Snyder, recommend him. Good old friend of mine. So we still keep in touch every now and then, but he's been busy since he went to go get his job at Lego. So. And we're a little bit far away to keep in touch on the regular. Like, I haven't seen him in person in several years, so. But I hope he's doing well. He seems to be doing well. He's designing a lot of cool Lego sets, so that's good. Mm-hmm. Let's do that on that side. Mm-hmm. Looks classic and cool. Oh, thanks, George. Appreciate it. Yeah, classic castle is the vibe here. The basic green is the core concept of the collab standard that we're doing. So it should all kind of go together once it's done. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Got to do your Wendigo for a 12-hour build challenge in December, Mark. Maybe Leshy from The Witcher. Ooh, I don't know if it'd be like, I haven't played The Witcher, so I need to play The Witcher before I build The Witcher, I think. But Wendigo would be fun for winter. That'd be a fitting theme, right? So, might have to do that. Mm-hmm. Malachi says, I'm thinking something a little more PG and happy. Oh, maybe nature, like my last mock autumn forest. That makes sense, Malachi. Understood. Yeah. Snow can be beautiful too, so it's worth contemplating. Gonna put some dark bluish gray tiles to fill in these gaps here. Start to work on this exterior edge, make it look nice. I think I have an idea for what I'll do there. Come on. My plate is being very disagreeable. Good grief. There we go. Haha. Do the deer thing from 99 Nights in Forest. The kids love it. Ah, Malachi. Krampus just wants to give hugs to children. Definitely PG. No, I don't think Krampus is always PG. He was definitely scary. What's Isaac's social so I can check out his builds? Isaac Snyder _brickbuilt on Instagram. But then Isaac Snyder on Flickr should come up pretty quickly. Yeah, I think his website is brickbuilt, if I'm not mistaken. So try that. It might not be the same website. Might have a different URL. But yeah, he and his brother John Snyder, two very talented builders. They both used to be a lot more active. I think real life catches up with people. You know how it is. So, but yeah, highly recommend you check out Isaac Snyder in particular for snowy stuff. John, his brother, tended to actually favor kind of Middle Eastern desert Arabian style architecture and landscape. So, yeah. All of us becoming future Lego designers? Oh, I don't think I'll ever work for Lego. I don't want to work for Lego. I don't want to put my Lego MOCs in a box and try and sell it for, 100 pieces. So. Actually, most Lego sets are bigger than that nowadays, but that's not... I don't think that's where my Lego building talents would fit well. So. Classic next to Knight's Castle. Gotta love Dark Side Brick Circus. No! We finally got Lucas to go. Oh, boy. Same Tim, currently trying and not really succeeding to get into design college. Oh, well, hopefully you can get in there, Michael. I feel like with just post some pictures of your Lego portfolio alone, like, you see what I can do? I could do that in real life too. So. All right. Well, I am feeling lazy now. I'm tired, and we are at 2 hours and 4 minutes of streaming, so we're gonna wrap it up here. But thank you so much, everyone who tuned in this evening. We got a lot of people to show up, a lot of friends. Good to see everybody, chat with everybody. A lot of ideas. A lot of people requesting mock reviews and 12-hour builds, so we'll hopefully get back to that at some point soon. Probably not this week, but maybe after this last convention in early November, we can really buckle down and get some videos done. But until then, we'll be live streaming every now and then when I can. We should be here next weekend. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. It might be more castle building, or maybe we'll switch over to sets or sorting or something. But stay tuned for all that. And yeah, have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of what's a little left of the weekend, and have a great week. And I will see you on the next one. So hope you guys have an excellent week. Take care.